Jackson, Tennessee.
When I lived in Tennessee, my dad he worked on the railroad there for a while, and then he took a job. He was foreman while they built the road down through Tennessee to the ocean, and he was in charge of building the bridges. And they built one bridge and go and build the next bridge until they got down to Biloxi, Mississippi, and then on down to the coast in the ocean front. And so Mother wanted to see the sea, so she decided she's going to take me and Elsie and that we're going to go down the train. Well, Elsie kept telling me the train's going to wreck and we're going to be hurt and we're going to be down there and can't get back home and all that. She had me scared to go. And she absolutely wasn't going to go. So Mother had Grandma come over to stay with her. And me and her went on down there. And Mother kept saying, I wish I'd have left you home with Elsie and Mama. She said, Elsie's got you so scared that the train's going to crash and everything else. She said, it's not going to crash and you're going to have fun. And every time I went to do anything, I was crying for Elsie. So Mother so aggravated. She said, oh, from now on, if I go someplace and Elsie don't want to go, you can just stay home with her. But I built up a lot of memories. I come back telling her about it, and then she was wishing she had gone. But she just knew the train would wreck and not get us there. She said, they just go too fast to stop. She thought they'd just go right off in the ocean, I guess.
When we were on a trip when Grandma was going to Egypt,
Yeah, Grandma went down to Egypt, and I sure did enjoy it. And while I was down there, I just living in a free country, you just take everything for granted. And they kept telling us, now it's dangerous down here in Egypt. It's dangerous down here. And anyway, we had been on a tour bus, and when it came in, of course, they piled off the tour bus and went in to wash up and get ready to eat because they'd always get back. They'd feed us our meal, and then we could do what we wanted to in the afternoon or at night. And of course, I wasn't even thinking about how dangerous it was. But the night before, we stayed all night in Israel, and I got out and took the sunrise over the Sea of Galilee. And down there in Egypt, I thought it'd really be nice to take the sunset in the Nile. And I was taking the sunset because I took the sunrise in Israel, and I want to take the sunset down in the Nile. And the guy that watches the door of the hotel, he came out and he said, of course, if I watch the sun go down, it's going to get darker and darker and darker. He came out and he said, ma'am, he said, you might ought to come in. It's kind of dangerous out here at night. I said, oh, I was just going to take the sunset. He said, well, I'll stand here behind you and you go ahead. But said, as soon as that sun goes down, it's going to be dark and you need to go inside. I said, oh, I will. It scared me because I hadn't even thought about it. I'm so used to living in a free country and don't have to worry. And it really scared me. But as I turned around, the sun was going down. And so I went right on in. He had me go in front of him. And because there is a road going along the Nile there. And it was dark. They don't have the streets and things lit up like I'm used to. And I thought, what a dangerous thing to do. Only the Lord could have protected me against all that. And but we took they had a small boat there. This old fella, he'd done that for years, and he told us that for $5, I'll take you right down the Nile and back up again. And so we did. But he couldn't speak any English. But he just acted like he was just so crazy about Fred. Fred had brought him in all that money. There was 10 of us, I think. So he made pretty good money on us. But he'd walk on a ledge on the outside of the ship, fix a sail, and then he'd go back the other way and fix a sail. And he didn't have a motor on it. We did all that by sailboat. And we went across where the the reeds were, where I can't even think who the baby was. It was oh, anyway, we watched that. I watched when I watched it again, and I saw how dark it was getting. I thought, well, that was silly, but I wasn't. I was looking at the sunset. I wasn't looking at how dark it was getting around me. And I really thank the Lord for protecting me, because we hadn't been back too long, and they were up in Jerusalem. They wasn't even down in Egypt, but they had just walked up to a bus of tourists and lit a bomb and threw it inside, and it killed 9 of them. And Fred said what hurt him, we always bought water bottles, never blue, real pretty. And he said he just saw those water bottles scattered all in the bus and around it. And he said it really hurt me, because he knew that every bottle is there. The people probably got killed. I think they killed 9 of them. But we was over there so close after that war had ended that they had red stakes around along the highway. And they told us that now the red stakes is where they were trying to dig up all the bombs that we camouflaged and hid. And every place you see a red stake, there's a bomb under the ground there. So avoid any. And of course, most of them was across the fence on the road, but they was all along the road. And I think how blessed we was that the Lord had us go over there and come back without any problem.
The time Grandma went to Paris.
Now, Paris is a different story. I know it was dangerous. It was all the colorful lights and all the fancy things they had for tourists. You don't really think about and dwell on it that much. But we went up, was going to go up the Eiffel Tower, and they said, "You're going on the elevator, or you're going to take the steps?" Fred said, "I'd like to take the steps a little ways," but he said, "I'm not going to the top on any of them." But when we went to our motel, it was 8 stories up, so we could, and the Eiffel Tower was just out not too far from Fred and Shirley's room, so we decided we'd go and eat sandwiches there and look out the window at the Eiffel Tower, pretend we was sitting on top of that. But I just thank the Lord that He allowed us to make those trips and safe. Nothing happened to any of us. One lady, they told us, watch your purses, watch your purses. Well, I had a light jacket on, so I'd put my purse on my neck and have it inside my jacket and zip it up, so nobody can run up and snatch my purse. This lady laid her purse down while she was buying something, and some little kid smashed it and run. And they said, well, they'll get him, because said he's not very old, looked like about 7. Said they'll get him, and said he'll pay for that. And so I started crying. I said, well, he looked like he's about 6 or 7, and you don't know, he might have been hungry. You don't know why he was stealing, because she was buying candy. And so anyway, they come to my motel room, knocked on the door, and they said, I noticed how upset you was about the little boy. He said, I wanted to tell you they got the little boy. He's just 6 years old, and they're not going to do anything to him, because those men kept saying, he's running our business. He won't be able to steal anymore, and I was afraid it's going to really hurt him. But they came up and told me, they said, they're not going to do anything to him. They're going to he didn't. His parents are good talking to because they would had to know when he was out stealing. And so they told the parents that if he steals anything and we catch him stealing, we're going to come back on you. And so that'd make them watch out for him. And they said, we're not going to do anything to some little kid. I said, well, you sound like you're going to punish him and maybe kill him. He said, well, we were so mad about it because he said, we make good money on our tourists and we do not want them frightened, and go back and tell other people don't go over there. It's dangerous. And so he said, we're just protecting our livelihood, but we'd never do anything bad to a kid. I did something I felt bad. I had bought, those little breath mint things that's orange. Some of them are orange, some of them are white, but I bought the orange ones, had orange flavor. And they was outside our window and they stand like this, begging for something. And I just handed her that. I said, share it with your friends out there, share it with the rest of them. Of course, she didn't. She just put it in her pocket. And they all gathered around her, and they were hitting on her to give them some. And I felt bad. I said, why did I give her that? I said, well, I won't give them anything else because, and that was in Egypt. Egypt was a poor country. Oh, it's awful.
A Raymond Alexander production. Raymond Alexander production.